Good morning, all of you. I am Mrs. Rushali Chaudhary, lecturer, Praveen Patil, Polytechnic. Today we are going to learn Applied Science Chemistry. Chapter is Water Treatment and Analysis. Subject code 22202 22211. In the previous lesson, we learned what is the hardness and how to remove the hardness. We done with a hot soda lime process and a cold soda lime process to remove the hardness. In that lime soda process, we are using chemicals to convert soluble salts into the insoluble salts. Now we are going to use zeolite and a permutate process. What is the zeolite? Any idea about the zeolite? Just look at the picture. By looking at picture, it will looks like a stone. Yes, it is looking like a stone, but what is that? It is a naturally occurring hydrated sodium aluminum silicate. It is a porous in nature. The synthetic form of zeolite is known as permutate. It is represented as Na2Ze or Na2P, that is the sodium zeolite or the sodium permutate. The sodium ion which are loosely held to the Na2Ze, and it is going to replace hardness causing calcium and magnesium ions which are present in the water. So we are allowing hard water to flow through this zeolite and permutate. When it is flowing through the zeolite and permutate, this stone like structure absorb calcium and magnesium and it is replaced with a sodium. Natural zeolites are the non-porous, while the synthetic zeolites are porous and have a jelly-like structure. It is prepared by heating china clay, feldspar and soda ash. This is your zeolite tank or the zeolite column. So we are passing hard water which is having a calcium and magnesium sulfate through it. As the hard water passing through the zeolite, this red dots is called as zeolite. When we are passing through hard water through this zeolite, what will happen? Calcium magnesium will replace the sodium one. So calcium magnesium get attached to the zeolite and water which is coming from that zeolite column is get contain the NaCl or Na2SO4. यही फॉर्मूला में कैल्शियम मैग्नीशियम is replaced by the sodium. So water will coming from the zeolite process, it's containing the sodium salt, but it is free from the calcium and magnesium. So we can call it is as a soft water. As the all sodium ions are replaced by the hard water, we are going to regenerate this zeolite with a concentrated NaCl. We will see what exactly happened in the reaction. In this process, the hard water is passed through a bed of sodium zeolite represented as Na2Ze. When it is hard water which is having a Ca2 plus, Mg2 plus, it's passed through the zeolite, what will happen? That is going to replace sodium with a calcium. This is your sodium zeolite. We are adding the hard water having a calcium bicarbonate. So what will happen? Calcium will attach to the zeolite and zeolite is a solid. So this is attached to the solid one and water is having the sodium salt. Similarly, when we are talking about the calcium chloride as well as the magnesium chloride, which are the permanent hardness giving the chemicals, when we are passing through the zeolite, we will observe that zeolite will attract calcium and magnesium and it replaces the sodium. So water which is coming from that zeolite is having a sodium chloride. When all zeolite become excess of calcium and magnesium, we cannot use it again to remove the hardness. That time we are going to recharge it regenerate the zeolite. How we are going to regenerate the zeolite? For that we are going to use NaCl, sodium chloride, which is having an excess of sodium 1. So after water softening process, zeolite is completely converted into the calcium and magnesium zeolite. It is completely exhausted. So we have to recharge it. We are going to recharge it by using a 10% concentration of sodium chloride solution, that is also called as a brine, BRINE. 10% sodium chloride. In an exam they will ask you which chemicals are used for the regeneration of zeolite. First answer is 10% NaCl or the brine. So calcium zeolite, that is the exhausted zeolite, is going to treated with a NaCl. So again it is forming a sodium zeolite, and wastewater is Ca containing CaCl2. Similarly, magnesium zeolite, which is the exhausted one, is treated with a NaCl, and it is going to again form sodium zeolite by effluent is magnesium chloride. This is the calcium chloride and magnesium chloride are the waste water. What is the advantages of the zeolite? This process removes hardness up to the 10 ppm. So very low hardness will be produced by the zeolite process. Operational cost is less. The equipment used is compact. No sludge formation take place. The plant can be connected to water supply line to avoid double pumping. It requires less time for softening as well as maintenance, and operation is easy. The process automatically adjusts itself to water of different hardness into their respective zeolite, which is difficult to be regenerated, but cost is high. What are the limitations of the zeolite process? The process exchange only calcium and magnesium ions with a sodium, but it does not remove the acidic ions like CO3 minus, HCO3, that is the carbonate and bicarbonate ions. So water containing such ions is not suitable for the boilers as it causes corrosion to the boilers. If turbidity particles are present in a hard water, it is going to block the pores of zeolite and make it inactive. If water is acidic or the highly alkaline, it is going to destroy the zeolite. If water contains colored ions like Fe2 plus, manganese 2 plus, then we should have to remove this. Otherwise, it is going to convert sodium zeolite and destroy it. Another process of water softening is deionization or the demineralization. This is a special category where we will get water with a 0 ppm hardness. We are going to remove all cations and anions present in a water, and water is completely become H2O only. No cation, no salts dissolve in that. In this process, we are using ion exchange resin. In this material contains cations like calcium, magnesium, anion, Cl minus, SO4 minus, which are responsible for the making water hard, are removed by using cation exchange resin and the anion exchange resin. Ion exchange resins are the insoluble cross-link long chain organic polymer with micropores structure. There are two types of ion exchange. One is a cation exchange, another one is a anion exchange. What happens in ion exchange resin? When we are passing hard water through the cation exchange, it is replacing positive ions with a H plus ions. So in a diagram you will see there is a Na plus Cl minus is present in a given water. So when it is passing through the water, in a cation exchanger, that Na plus is replaced by the H plus, and water which is coming from that exchange resin is become H plus Cl minus. Cl, which is a negative ion, that will remain as it is, but positively charged cations are replaced by the hydrogen one. Similarly, when we are passing hard water through the anion exchanger, it is replaced negative ion with a OH minus. So H plus Cl minus, when we are passing through the solution, that Cl will attach to the resin, and what the effluent which is coming from that resin is H2O. H plus and OH minus are removed. So first we are going to pass hard water through the cation exchanger resin, which absorb all the cations like Ca2 plus, Mg2 plus, Na plus and K plus present in a hard water by replacing it with a H plus ions. It is exchanging cations with a H plus ions, while anion exchanger replacing anions with a OH minus ion. The cation free water is then passed through the anion exchanger, which absorb all the anions like Cl minus, SO4 minus carbonate present in a water, and it is going to produce the OH minus, that is going to react with H plus to form H2O. Thus, water coming from the anion exchanger is free from both cation and anions, and therefore it is called as a free ion free water, demineralized, deionized, which is not having any type of cation and anion. First we are passing hard water through the cation exchanger, so all cations get deposited here and replaced with a H plus ion. After that water we are going to pass through the anion exchanger. All anions are deposited on the resin, and OH minus react with the H plus to form a deionized or the demineralized water. But what happens during this process? This ion exchange as well as the cation exchange get saturated with the calcium anions as well as the cations. So we have to do a regeneration. Regeneration means recharging. When the cation exchange column is exhausted, it can be regenerated by passing a solution of dilute HCl or the dilute H2SO4. That is your first is cation exchanger. When we are passing through the HCl, it is going to replace cation exchanger are going to filled with H plus ions. Excess calcium magnesium is removed out. Similarly, anion exchanger is regenerated by using a dilute NaOH, sodium hydroxide, which is going to fill anion exchanger with a OH minus active anions and remove excess of negative ions. This method is highly used for the boiler water because it is used for the making soft water by hardly alkaline as well as the acidic water. It produces water of very low hardness, 2 ppm, 2 parts per million. Till this hardness is achieved by this process. Disadvantages: the equipment is costly and expensive. Chemicals are required. If water contains the turbidity, the output is low. That turbidity, the particles is going to block the exchange resins and output is decreases. Difference between the zeolite process and the ion exchange or the demineralization process. In a zeolite process, only cations get exchanges, while in ion exchange process, both cation and anions get exchanges. The residual hardness is obtained from the zeolite is 1 to 5 ppm, while ion exchange will give you hardness till 0 to 2 ppm. Zeolite is cost of material and the plant is high, but ion exchange is quite higher cost. Operating expense for the zeolite is low, for the ion exchange it is high. Zeolite process we cannot use acidic water, but in ion exchange we can use acidic as well as the alkaline water. It is treated with the dissolved salts. Dissolved salts will not be present in a demineralized water. MCQ, we are going to solve the MCQ based on today's topic. Zeolite softening process removes. Options are only temporary hardness, only permanent hardness, both temporary and permanent hardness of water, the dissolved gases in a permanent hard water. The answer is, it is going to remove temporary as well as the permanent hardness of water. Thank you for your attention. You can mail your questions on my email ID. Thank you so much.